Hey y'all, it's Crystal from Triple C Creations Crafting, coming to you from the beautiful North Georgia mountains. It's a little bit breezy here. You may hear my wind chimes in the background, but we are making a personalized set of note cards today from a set of cards that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance a few weeks ago. So you may have seen my Hobby Lobby haul where I got this set of note cards, and there are 10 designs. There were 5 of each one. These are A2 size cards. They've got some rose gold foiling on them. And I believe I paid about $2.50 for the set of 50. So it was a really good deal. And I immediately thought, I think this is the card that really gave me the inspiration, that it would be really cool to do some monograms and be able to give these as gift sets. So I have taken these 10 cards. Well, I'll take that back. I took 8 of the 10 different sets. So these two, I really wasn't pleased with the way I could just put a monogram in it. I guess I could have just put like the letter here, but I decided to hold these out, and that left me with 8. So I'm going to set these to the side, and I'm going to show you the blank card and the card that I made together. So to do this, I did need some additional paper. So I used the Jen Hadfield homemade This Is Family. And this is one of those paper pads that came from Pop Shelf. Okay. I've used this paper pad. I actually have used, like, I know this paper I used in the front of a notebook. I have done some fussy cutting on some of these things in here and cut out a bunch of them. So I use those. For this one, I also pulled out this plaid paper, this dark teal paper, and then I did some fussy cutting on these houses and these picnic baskets. Okay, so I've got those elements that I have pulled in, and then I cut some monograms from these papers. I also tried something new with foiling. I had got some foil at a thrift store here a while back, and I had never used it. So I tried where you print out something and then you run it through your laminator and it foils it. So I did that. I do have a laser printer, so I was able to create this set of monograms. Now this is for somebody else. My monogram is a C also, so I just went ahead and did a whole page of these, and then I put them in my Silhouette to cut them. Now I did make a mistake. I'm very proficient at Silhouette, but I gave this inside circle weight so that it would print, and then I did an offset to get the outside circle, which was going to be my cut line, but I forgot to change it to a 0 weight. And if you are familiar with Silhouette, I don't know about Cricut, but if it's a 0 weight, you can use that to cut, but it won't print. So mine printed anyways because I had not set it back to 0. And then I foiled it before I cut them. And when I tried to cut them, the foil does not cut well. So just FYI, if you're foiling something, your Silhouette, you're going to have to change your settings. So I had some trouble cutting these. And so I know they're a little bit off center, and that would have been all right if I didn't have this other line. But I ended up having to cut some of these by hand. I even tried using die cuts, but it struggled with the foil because I was really where I was wanting to cut it was right where that foil was. And then what I ended up doing was I fussy cut, and I know it's not circle or a nice clean circle. I actually did that on purpose because I knew there was going to be mistakes. So I left it kind of rough. So I used those because this set is a monogram of C, but then I also cut some monograms using die cuts out of those coordinating papers that I had talked about. And I used a few embossing folders just to give the paper a little bit of texture. Okay, so let me show you what I have created. All right, so our first card was this just leaves, and I used the coordinating paper. I did emboss it first with some flowers, and it's got some hummingbirds, and then I popped that up on foam tape. So the next one was this. It's kind of plain, this rose gold plaid, and so I did a border of that teal. This is one of the images that I fussy cut, and then I die cut a C. All right, This black plaid, I started to leave this out just because it didn't have the colors, but then I decided I'm just going to go for it because I really wanted a set of 8 different cards. So I added another border, just like this one right here. So these are going to be coordinating. I also took this, this was striped paper. Had diagonal stripes, and I die cut a C, and then this is one of the picnic baskets that I die cut. I thought this plaid really reminded me of a picnic, so I thought the picnic basket went good. All right, the next one is this rose foil. I call it like a Dresden plate. If you're a quilter, then you think about the Dresden plate. These 2 strips are actually the branding strips were at the top of my 12 by 12 paper. And then this is one of the images that was in that paper pad that I just punched it. I punched that one out, and then I actually laid my C right over it, so it actually kind of outlines the circle. You only see the circle over here. So, like that. Next, we have this black floral, and I actually layered up the 2 different kind of solids that I had pulled from that. Popped up the C on some foam tape, and then this was an embellishment out of kind of a tealish blue. I thought it kind of matched this, kind of brought it all together, and that was just out of my bin. So it was one I already had cut. I didn't make it. Okay, next one is one of my favorite, and I feel like it has to be landscape. It doesn't have to be, but I really want it to be landscape. I feel like it needs to be landscape, and this one was the easiest one to do because all I had to do was put a monogram in the middle. Now you could dress this up some more. You could put a shape behind it, but I thought that I would keep it very simple. I let the paper do the work, or in this case, the card do the work. Oops. All right. Next up is this black polka dot, and this is one of the images that I took from the paper pad. These black and white houses, and I fussy cut it. I let my C overlap, and then I just have a band out of that coordinating. It's not really pinkish peach color. It was a very unique color, so I was pleasantly pleased to be able to find something that coordinated to it. And then our last one is, I think it's, well, I don't know, it was a tie between my favorite ones, but it does have the same flowers in it. It's got some rose gold. Remember I said I had done some foiling with this, and so I took my leftover foil page and I did some double-sided tape and just used that foil to make some stripes, or like they crisscross. Nothing symmetrical here. And then I popped this up on some foam tape. So I have 8 cards. And then, since this is a gift set, I wanted to give them as a nice, pretty gift. So I took a piece of paper that I thought coordinated with it. And this is from one of these great old big, it says Timeless Textile Stack. I bought this at a thrift store, I believe. I paid $6, and I have used a lot of it. I gave a lot of it away. It's not cardstock. It is just, it's just printed paper. It's not thick enough to be cardstock. So, but this is not something that is going to, I know it's not going to last. I'm not planning on it lasting. So I did, last time I made a box, I think I measured my card or maybe my envelope, and I made it a little bit too tight. I had to do some trimming on it. I had to trim down my cards a little bit, I think. But this time, I made my box a little bit bigger. So I measured my envelopes, and I'm going to put my envelopes in here. And you can see, I actually kind of went up to the nearest, like, 1/4 of an inch. And then my width here, or my depth, I just measured actually my stack. So my stack of envelopes and cards, I measured all that together. And for this set, it was 3/4 of an inch. So I added 3/4 of an inch on both sides, which is actually inch and a half. And that was how I made my box. So I will tie this up with some string, maybe add a tag, and it'll be ready to go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Until next time.